Hello, my name is Christian Ramirez, web developer at WIC Communications. Today's presentation is about web ad management. And we are going to begin with how to determine online inventory. To determine online inventory, you will need to log into BLOX. You will then need to go to Statistics, Analytics. Under Statistics and Analytics, go under Ad Manager. Then go to Ads by Position. You want to determine inventory per position. So you will find your available positions right below Ad Traffic Details. You will see all your positions, including those of your newsletter, mobile, and just your regular online positions like your right rails, leaderboards, etc. If I look under Leaderboard Middle 1, I can see that Leaderboard Middle 1 generated over 100,000 page views. Now it's only generating since a month ago. So if you want to change your date range, you'll need to do so and hit search. So if there's a specific month you need statistics for a position, you will need to set your start date and end date. So if I only want for October, I will select October 1st through October 31st and then hit search. So my leaderboard position received 107,000 page views from October 1st through the 31st. If I expand that to the 17th, which is today, and I hit search, you will notice my numbers increased from 107 to 272,000 page views. The reason you would want to determine your web stats per position is to see whether you have available inventory for that position alone. Some positions get more page views than others, which is why you would want to do it this way. If you notice, under each position, you can see the difference. If these in-stories were to have the same amount, then it would all be equal. But since these in-stories are getting little over 100,000, there's like about a 170,000 gap. So it's not fair to say that the in-story is getting the same amount of page views as the leaderboard. So once again, this is why you want to get your inventory per position and not get overall page views of your website to determine your inventory or available inventory. Part 2 of this presentation is how to read or interpret an insertion order. A lot of you are familiar with IOs, and you will probably get some from our WIC advertising director time to time. So sometimes it makes no sense. Sometimes it does, but in an email you would probably receive two items, which is PDF, which is the insertion order, and you would also receive the Excel sheet with the ad tag code. The ad tags are basically just some HTML code, and that needs to be uploaded up to BLOX and copied from the document and pasted. It's basic HTML. But let's begin by taking a look at that PDF file. This is an example of what it would look like. In this example, I have an I/O for the Sierra Vista Herald. Since I'm using gvnews.com as an example, I'm going to go down to GV News here, and the insertion order seems to be for a 300 by 250 position and a background skin, but I'm just going to worry on this 300 by 250 for the sake of this presentation. It seems that the agency or the advertiser wants 100,000 page views from September 24th, 2012 through December 30th, 2012. Now, let's just imagine that this advertiser is going to run in the future. So we have to set this ad up in blocks. So I know the run dates, and I know how many impressions they want, and I know the position of the ad. So I pretty much know that I have to assign it to my right rails and in stories, which is pull up the website here. Usually the rail slash top one, rail middle one positions, and the in story one position. Here's my rail top one. That's a 300 by 250 pixel ad. And if I scroll down, here is a 300 by 600 position, but a half page ad. But you can also assign a 300 by 250 to that position, and goes vice versa. You can also assign a 300 by 600 to the rail top one position. So you have that flexibility. So basically what I'm saying is you can assign any 300 width ad, regardless of its height, to any of the 300 positions, including the in-story position, which would appear right below the picture in an article usually. Let's see. So there is my in-story position, and in Green Valley's articles we are also running an in-story too. So if I go back to my I/O, I know I have to deliver 100,000 page views, impressions, from September 24th to December 30th. And there's a good way to find out, how many days that is. It's September 24th through 30th. There's a website called timeanddate.com. It's a date calendar, basically, calculator. What I'm going to do here, you can actually find the calculators under calculator. You'll see date-to-date calculator, date calculator, dialing codes, distance calculator, travel time calculator. So under my date-to-date calculator, I am going to select my date, which, if I go back to my insertion order, is from September 24th through December 30th. second. September 24th. The end date was December, I believe 30th. Let me just double check here. 2012. That seems to be a total of 97 days. So what I came to decide was to get how many days there are between September 24th through December 30th. So that's 3 months, 6 days, 97 days. So I have to basically divide 100,000 page views by 97. So, and pull your calculator or just do a Google search. You can type in 100,000 divided by 97. That's roughly around 1,030 page views a day. So we need to set our ad to run about 1,030 page views per day, and we also want to put a 10% increment just to make sure the ad delivers instead of under delivering. We want to make our advertiser happy. So I am going to now go to that Excel sheet, that Excel file, and the Excel file could look a little bit scary, but like I said, we only need a piece of code that's in one of these columns, and you usually want to do the iframes JavaScript or the JavaScript tag. You don't have to copy and paste all of this. You don't need all of this. You just need one of these. So if I look at this Excel sheet, I can under placement type, it tells me what position it needs to go into. So, and under size, it will show you the size of the ad position. So this first row here, row 20 apparently, is for a 728 by 90 pixel ad. The next row is for a 300 by 250 pixel ad, and the third one is for a 160 by 600 pixel ad. So in our little tutorial, we were going to do the 300 by 250. So I go to this row under 300 by 250. I then go over to my iframe JavaScript tag, and I double click until it kind of opens so that I can copy that code over. So I just go to edit copy or Command C, or then you want to, I like to open up a text edit file on a Mac or a notepad and paste my code that I need onto that notepad or text edit file. And I usually set it to the side. So I have my iframes JavaScript tag here, which is the code we need for Green Valley. I can then go to Marketplace Banner Ads in Blocks, and in here under Marketplace Banner Ads I am going to create a new ad, and Blocks allows you different options. It allows you to upload a Flash ad, an HTML ad, which is what we're going to copy from that Excel file, just a basic image ad like a JPEG or a GIF, and you also have other options as a kind of a page curl or a expandable ad like a pencil ad, but I won't go into detail with rich media ads today. I will just cover Flash, HTML, and image. And under HTML, once I select that option, I can go ahead and name my ad. I usually name my ads with details, with a little bit of detail, so that I can search them under the search query. I can do a search for them using keywords. So I make sure I add as many keywords as I can so that I can find it whenever I need to. So this national ad is for Arizona Lottery. So I would type in Arizona Lottery, and then I would also include the name of the campaign, which in this case the name of the campaign can also be found under the IO. Weekly winnings. So the weekly winnings campaign, and then I sometimes throw in the ad size, which is, in this case it's a 300 by 250. I can say that it's ROS. I can go into as much detail as I want. I just want to make sure that I have enough information so that whenever I need to find it, I can locate it using some of these keywords. It's not Arizona Lottery, it's weekly winnings, or the ad size, or the, whether it's a national ad or a house ad or whatever. So we have a start date. Which was September. Always want to double check. I'm always double checking. September 24th through the 30th, December 30th. So once I set my dates, my start and end date, I will then assign the position. So this is a 300 by 250, so I will not assign it to leaderboard positions or any other positions. I am specifically looking for, usually I like to assign it to the in-story position and my rail top 1. So I have to do a search for it. Next page. Notice under here you can actually go, there's 4 pages, so you can use your little arrows here to get to the next page. So it's still not on the second page, but it is on the 3rd page. So I select my position. So I have I wanted to assign this ad to both of these positions here, so I did. And now I can actually go back to my text edit and copy that code that we copied from that Excel file that was sent to us, and I paste it onto there, and then I can go ahead and hit save or save and close. But before we do that, I almost forgot, there is the impressions. So we divided 100,000 by 97, and we came up to roughly around 1030. So then we said we needed to add a 10% increment to this. So 103. So I have to add 103 . Okay, so now I have my 1030, my 1030 page views per day, plus my 10%, which is 103, and it gave me 1133. So it's not perfect. It's, we just want to make sure we deliver our page views. And so once we've set our impressions per day, we can just go ahead and double check. Everything is fine. I'm just going to go through the additional settings that you have, and these are all settings that are part of BLOX, and you don't have to use, but you should be aware of them. Ads also have keywords like editorial content, and you want to use these whenever they're hardly ever used, but if there's a keyword on an article, so let's say this story, construction projects around GV Sahuarita point to better days. Let's say there's a specific tag on this story, and you want to use the same tag on this ad. Let's say the keyword is construction, and you add construction as a keyword to this ad. And this article has a keyword, construction. This ad will appear only on articles that have, or this article in this case, that have that keyword. So this ad will not show up at all unless an article is using that keyword, which in this case is construction. So you want to be careful. You don't want to assign keywords to your ads. You only want to do it whenever you want an ad to show up with a keyword that's using that same keyword assigned to the ad. So if you go under related, there is a business option, and you can assign a business to it. What that basically allows you to do is to send monthly reports, monthly, weekly, even daily reports to your advertisers via email. These are generated automatically and sent out to your advertisers. So you need to, in order to set this up, you need to assign a business. And the way you do it is just hit add. You get a pop-up. You can search a business, and if the business does not appear under your featured businesses list, then you can change the filter by selecting the drop down and then selecting all of businesses. I can change your radius, your zip code. So if I want to find, let's say, the casino, or let's just say a casino, and I hit search, oh, I did not get that many options. Let's say I wanted to search for Lazy Boy, which is a furniture store here in Arizona. Let me broaden my search just a little. Search. Okay. Well, let's try something else. Okay. Let's say we're looking for a pizza place. Doesn't matter at this point which pizza place it is. And let's say Basil's To Go is, or Bella Vita Pizzeria is place I'm looking for. Then I basically just add selected businesses, and that means that this business, Bella Vita Pizzeria, is now assigned to this ad here. So you haven't necessarily set the whole process up yet. The only thing you did is basically tied the business to the ad. In order to set up the automatic reports, we have to you would have to go to your statistics and analytics page and set them up through there, which I'll show you in a minute. So once you've assigned your business to the ad, you also have the option under Other to go to add to schedule day party, which basically says, let's say you only want to run this ad on Mondays and Thursdays. You can actually enable day partying and select the times that you want this ad to appear. On Monday, you want it all day, then you select OK, all day Monday. But you got to set your schedule as well. At midnight. So let's say you don't want it you can set custom schedule as well. Let me hit edit on Monday. Oops. So if you don't want Thursday, then you can just basically delete the option for Thursday. If you don't want Saturday, you can just delete the option for Saturday. Hit OK. So you can basically edit as you please, or even change the times, start and end dates. Hit OK, and you can just play with your dates. So that is basically what day partying schedule is. Sales, you can set whether it's CPM or a monthly fee, or if it's free would be for house ads. If you have a CPM, you can set your billing rate. This is for internal use only. Revisions will tell you who's edited this file, kind of like with editorial or with everything else blocks. You can see who edited the file and who created the file. So this is where it would appear. It would tell you who it is editing the file, or who had edited the file previously. So that pretty much wraps it up with adding a new HTML ad. You also have the option to upload a Flash ad, and you have all the same settings on all the types of ads except for this first window here, where instead of pasting the HTML code, you would upload a Swift file, which is this .swf file, usually created by your production teams, or given to you by Central Design here at WIC, or an advertiser has their own Swift file, SWF file, and they email it to you, and it's a .swf. You just browse. You'd probably get on your email or something, and you just download it to your desktop, and you browse for it on through here, and you upload the file. Now you can't really edit or see a Swift file without the right tools. If you don't have Flash, or if you don't have you basically can't edit the file. But if you would want to preview it, just upload it, and you click on Show Full Size, and it gives you a preview of it. It'd just be best to upload it and then get the preview. Saves time, and you don't need any special program for that. So I'm just wondering if we have a flash ad I can show you. Just gonna do a search. Well, here's an old one. It's a disabled ad. Here's an old Swift file, and it basically just gives me the preview here. If I click show full size, it'll give me the preview of the ad in its actual size. So yeah, you can't really edit Swift files unless you have the right programs. So there's no need to really, open it on your desktop. Just upload it and you'll get the preview here. And if you need to replace one, you just hit upload and you just browse for the new file and it'll switch it up for you. You will also need to paste in the URL where the ad needs to go to under links URL. So make sure you get the link it needs to go to from your advertiser or from the person you're working with. So that's pretty much it for Swift files. You also can add notes on there, but everything else pretty much the same. There's the same concept with just image ads, and if I go under image, it's not a Swift file upload, but it'll be a GIF or a, you'll be able to upload a GIF file, which is .gif, or a JPEG file, which is your second option. You can also upload PNG files, .png files, and it'll take all those three formats. It won't take TIFFs or anything else, just JPEG, GIF, and PNG. If you're one of those who are trying to stay away from Flash because it's heavy and there's a lot of bugs with Flash, and we've heard all the we've seen it how Flash can slow down your site. There's also the alternative of using animated GIFs, and I believe Central Design is building those now. So you can use animated GIFs to replace Swift files or Flash files, and they're usually friendlier. They don't slow down your site that much, and you don't need a special plugin for it. And if you're on another type of device like an iPad or something, it'll work. Unlike Flash ads or Swift files won't work on your iPads or Android devices, etc. But if you take a look here, Green Valley is actually using animated GIFs for their animations here. So it's a good practice. HTML5, will also be replacing Flash pretty soon, and we'll probably see more HTML5 ads in the future. But I do highly recommend GIF files for animated files, and just make sure to keep your expectations low. You don't want to create flying cars and things coming out of the ad. You want to keep it as simple as possible. Sometimes the simplest things are, the things that work the best. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel from here. So once you upload your image file, you name it, type in your URL, you can add some notes, start date, and then set your other your settings. And that's basically it for adding a HTML ad, image ad, or a Swift file up to blocks. And there's one more thing with Swift files. You want to make sure the correct click tag is added to the Swift file. So if you have questions about click tags, sometimes some of you folks upload a Swift file up to the website and notice that there's no click-through. It doesn't go anywhere. You try clicking on it and you click on it and click on it and won't go anywhere. That's most likely because there's a missing click tag in the Flash file. So that's something that needs to be added when when needs to be added when creating the flash file. So just make sure your advertisers, if your advertisers are building their own Swift files or flash ads, just make sure that they're using that click tag code. And if Essential Design is aware of the, so they know, but if your advertisers or you folks, are building flash ads in-house, then you need to input the correct click tag. And you can find it by going to docs.townnews.com, and then under search you just type in click tag and you hit go. And the one you want is actually not ActionScript 3, but it's ActionScript 2. And you click on how do I add a click tag to flash ads using ActionScript 2. And in this page, I would actually just copy this URL that's up here, and I would send it off to my developer. But this one here is to add an email to your flash ads. The second option is to actually add the correct click tag. The third option is to add multiple click tags to an ad. So that means if you wanted to go to 2 different places, this would be the code. So without going into a lot of detail, I would just make sure that your advertiser, or your production team is using this correct click tag, and that is under docs.townnews.com. You just do a search for click tag, and you make sure you get the one that says ActionScript 2. If you need help locating this file or getting the correct click tag, just go ahead and email me at christian.ramirez@wickcommunications.com, and I'll make sure I'll get you the correct click tag. Okay, so I'm going to keep blabbing here, move on to the next thing. I guess another important thing is making sure you know how to disable and enable ads, re-enable ads. You notice here's an expired ad, which means that it ran its course. So this ad was supposed to run from November 28th through December 5th. So, pardon me, it ran its course. So if you want to extend the time frame that this ad should run, then you basically change the end date, and then you hit save and close. So that's how you re-enable an expired ad. Sometimes when you're doing a search for a particular ad, you do a search, make sure you select it, whether it's expired, or select all. Make sure if it's an expired ad, make sure you select the right start date and end date. So if this ad ran last month, make sure you filter things correctly. Set your search filter settings correctly so that you can find that ad. I've had problems before locating an ad, and that's because it expired last month, so I didn't have the correct start date and end date. So that's for example. And then you can also basically just disable an ad if it needs to get disabled using these buttons here. So you disable it, and then you can re-enable it by clicking enable ad, or you can just simply delete an ad if you really need it to. So that's pretty much how you enable ads. You can also manage your positions. You can basically set weight, different kind of like priorities to ads within a position. So if you have a particular advertiser that needs to run like 80% of the time on Monday or any day of the week, you can go ahead and set it under positions. you can give them that priority that he needs. So if I click on positions, and let's say this is for ROS position, leaderboard, middle 1, and I just put up a new advertiser, and I need to make sure that he runs basically 80–90% of the time. I am going to switch his percentage from 16%, which is what it's set for all the rest, so they're all equally giving out impressions right now. But if I were to change that to 90%, that number would basically change. I actually want to make sure I lock that before I let it go. So let's do 90%, and then I hit, well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit locked first. Then I'm going to change my percentage. If it lets me. Doesn't seem, okay, finally, right, so it let me. So if I go ahead and hit save now, so I made sure I locked it and I switched it from 16 to 90%. It's now lowered the priority of all the other ads to 2%. So if I really need to get this ad out, so for the day, I'm setting it to 90, but if I leave it at 90 for tomorrow, it's going to give out 90% of the time tomorrow as well. So if I only want to do this for today, then I'll set it for today, and by the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that I unlock it, hit save, and it basically resets back to normal. And I make sure I save that. Good thing to know is that you'll also see ads that are under wait. The status is wait. Basically, they're waiting for their start date. You'll also see disabled ads. They're not really doing anything. They won't interrupt your percentages. But it's just good to see sometimes that which ads are disabled, or which ones are waiting to start, or which ones have expired. It's kind of neat to know to have that information available if you ever really need it for that position. So I'm going to go ahead and save and cancel out of that. So that's how you basically manage your positions. And the next thing is how to generate that report for your advertisers. So we assigned the business earlier to the ad, and so we need to generate the report that gets sent out to them like weekly or monthly, or it's even possible to do it daily, but I wouldn't want to get those reports daily. So sometimes analytics take a while to load. I mean, it's a lot of data that's trying to load up, so be a little patient here. And oops. Okay, so now if I go under Ad Manager, Business Report by Position this time, not Ads by Position, but Business Report by Position, I can then look for that advertiser. So if you remember, we basically assigned a business to an ad. In this case, it was a national ad. Doesn't matter. So earlier in this training, we assigned that business to an ad. So ideally, we can basically, if we would to do it for reals, it would appear here under the business name dropdown. So here's that lazy boy furniture advertiser that we were looking for. But let's say I wanted to generate reports for Lazy Boy, but apparently they don't have any active ads right now. So let's try somebody else. Nope, no active ads for Jim Click either. Let's try Inet San Ignacio. Okay, so here's one. Inet San Ignacio, they have apparently 2 ads running that are currently live. There's a rail top 1 and a leaderboard middle that are running on the website right now. Wait, impressions 1. Alright, that doesn't seem right. Let's try another advertiser. Okay. Oh, there's one. They have one. Arizona Self Storage has 1 ad running on the Green Valley website, gbnews.com, and it's for leaderboard middle 1 position, which is the which would be this position here. Let's see if we get it. There's no self-storage. Let's do a couple of refreshes. Well, here's the San Ignacio ad, but it was showing one page view. Let's try to get easy self-storage to appear here. Okay, it's not showing up for us, but we can see that we've had some impressions and some clicks, so I can basically generate, create a saved report. And if you look at the options here at the top, you have an option to create a saved report for that advertiser, or you can also send them an email with the report. So if it's a one-time thing, you just want to hit email, or if you want to get like a PDF, you hit print, and then do a command P or a file print or whatever, and then you can actually save it as a PDF if you like, and then email it to your advertiser as a PDF, or print it out and take it to your advertiser. It's pretty much up to you. So if you were to print it, that's where you would hit it, and if you were to just email the advertiser, you would just select email if it's a one-time thing. You can also just basically set up the report. I hit create saved report, and gives me some options. Gives me an option to title it. So basically this is what the title is going to be, and depending on the date, it's going to show the latest date. You want to add a reply to email so that they can reply to someone on that email if they want. So if, let's say I'm the advertiser, let's say I'm the ad rep, so I want, if let's say the business replies to the email that gets sent out to them, then I would be getting it. Or else if you leave it blank, it'll basically, if the advertiser replies, it'll go into cyberspace and nobody will ever get it. But if I enter my name, if the advertiser replies to the email, then I can then reply. So here is the option where you select whether the reports are daily, weekly, or monthly, and whether you want to include help, which is basically just like a, let me show you here. Let's do print. It's basically, this information down here basically telling you what, it's kind of like a help type of thing, where it tells you the meaning of these things here. So like position, the name of the position that the ad was displayed, etc. So going back under my create saved report, I select include help and include charts. If this one doesn't seem to have charts, but they're basically just just like charts, but since this is running ROS, it doesn't really matter if you're running this ad in different sections of the website, then it would show you like a chart of how it's doing on every section. But since you're really not doing that, doesn't really matter. Or it would also give you, like, if you're running multiple ads, like a kind of like a, it's it's an option, but I would set that to no. Schedule, this is where I would type in I would actually go to under email and then type in the advertiser's email. So advertiser at, this ad is for AC self-storage, so let's say it was selfstorage.com, and then I would hit OK, and then whoops, I don't want them to get daily or weekly, I just want them to get a monthly report, and then I hit save. And once I hit save, I can always edit this created saved report under saved reports, ad manager, saved reports folder, and then these are basically it. But you would have to give them a better title. So I would actually, when creating my my saved report, I would actually prefer to give it, a better title than this generic title. I would probably say something like AZ Self Storage, and then the date, or just like the type of ad. So this is basically the information that's going to appear under saved report, and you'll know, um, the difference between, instead of having a generic name. So let me check my notes here and see if there's anything that I'm leaving out. It seems like we've covered quite a few things for today. So yeah, we basically, now kind of should have a better understanding of our IOs and, the Excel file, and copying, creating an HTML ad, and you also have, better understanding of uploading Swift files versus image ads, and assigning an advertiser to the advertisement. And you also learned how to generate a report, and you also learned how to, determine your inventory based by position instead of, your general, you know, monthly page views. So I am going to leave you with that, and if, of course, there's any questions or you need any help with any of this, you can contact me at christian.ramirez@webcommunications.com. That is christian.ramirez@webcommunications.com. Have a good day. Thank you.